Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to a recap of night number 58 inside the Big Brother house for season 25. A good Friday morning to all of y'all. Yeah, we finally got this game started again. Yeah, we waited all week, sat through all those terrible, scary terrors and chills that we had all week long. Yeah, not so much. Not a whole lot went on. But finally, last night, we did have our own version of Return of the Living Dead. We had one of the zombies come back to life. We saw it on the episode itself. Cameron, as expected, decided to do the puzzle himself instead of letting Jared have the ball. Literally, it was a competition involving a ball lifting, rolling along a path of a big zombie body. Cameron took it on. He had 3 minutes to sink one ball in the little hole in the zombie's hand, and he did it. So props, congratulations for Cameron for doing what it takes to stay in the game, to come back into the house. Cameron's returning. Unfortunately, that means that Jared's game is over. The twist is over, I suppose. I'm still wondering if Blue ever reveals this information. Does it have any impact at all now? Or do people just say, whatever, he's gone? Or do they hold it against Blue that she kept the secret? I don't know if it'll have anything relevant at this point going forward, because Jared is now gone. I am real curious to see how Cerie's game may change now that she doesn't have her son in there to worry about, to try to protect, to work around, whatever. Now that just Cirie playing a game, we'll see if she does anything differently. We're going to find out. So Cameron did what he needed to do. He won to get back into the house. I will say I really enjoyed that battle back competition. Now, getting one ball up that zombie body and then moving it over, dropping it back down the arm and into the palm of the hand. It seems super easy. He had 3 minutes to get one ball in the hand. And again, it seems very easy, but I think it's a lot harder than you think, especially his first ball dropped. Suddenly you're getting panic. Does not help any at all that Julie Chen is in the background saying, you have 2 minutes left. You have 1.5 minutes left. If I was Cameron, I'd was like, Julie, just chill. Don't keep telling me I'm good. But yeah, you have to stay focused. You can't panic. If you do, you start going too fast, things fall apart. We saw it with Caitlin Herman, right? We thought that was an easy puzzle back in season 20. She panicked. It didn't work. It could have happened with Cameron, but it didn't. He stayed chill and he solved it, got back into the house. I did like that puzzle. All right. We did not get a live HOH competition, which I was kind of hoping. We didn't even have an eviction last night, so I thought maybe there'd be enough time to show them starting an HOH comp at least. But they spent so much time in that episode showing the final part of the zombie comp, filling the shovel with the balls. Didn't we see enough of that last episode? I don't know if we needed another 15 minutes, it seems like. Whatever. So we did not get to see the live HOH competition. And that, well, unfortunate. The show ended. At that point, then the live feeds were cut off, and they stayed off until around 12:30 or so Houston time, which was 10:30 Big Brother time. The feeds finally come back on. It takes a while to figure out whether they've even had the HOH competition yet or not, but eventually we do learn they had the HOH competition. We have a new HOH for the house. First time in a week we've got an HOH, and that new HOH is Cameron. Yeah, Cameron, yet again, his third HOH, the third HOH in a row that he was able to compete for. The other ones, he was ineligible since he was outgoing HOH. So Cameron quickly turning into the comp beast. How quickly we forget Michael from last season. Cameron just dominating at this point in time. Every comp he can play in seems like he's winning or coming pretty close. So yes, Cameron has won another HOH. He has control for yet another week. Now, the thing is, short term, I think Cameron might have needed the protection that this HOH gives. There was certainly talk about sending the returning player back out the door based on who got the HOH. So from Cameron's standpoint, short term, it probably is a good thing that he got the protection of the HOH. Perhaps even more importantly, it gives him the opportunity to consolidate power. We saw him talking to Matt and Jag and trying to make some things happen. It's easier to do, though, when you actually have the HOH under your belt. So it'll give him a chance to consolidate that power, form an alliance, whether you call it that or something else. So short term, it's going to help him. Long term, it's got to be putting a big old target on his back, right? 3 HOH wins that he's got. Everyone in that house, even the ones that are working with Cameron, have got to be thinking, wow, we're going to need to get this guy out when we have the chance, because there's a chance he could just dominate the comps and we'll never have another opportunity. So yeah, the short term, I think it helps. Long term, it certainly makes that target on Cameron's back just that much bigger. So we do have that. All right. Now, the biggest part about Cameron winning HOH, it guarantees that he's on jury. If I've done my math incorrect, one more slot of a non-jury member, and then we move into the jury. So Cameron is now on the jury, which he had expressed so badly wanting to do for financial reasons. He got his wish. He had to fight for it, but he got his wish. So congrats to Cameron. He deserves it. God, who would have thought that was the guy that was going to be the comp beast this season? But he's doing it. All right. With all that being said, let's talk about the feeds, because yeah, the feeds didn't come on until late, but the house guests stayed up awful late as well. So we still have a lot to talk about. All right. As I mentioned, when the feeds first came back on, it took a while to figure out who had the HOH key. There's a lot of chit chat between house guests. Stare at that screen, look at it. Every person, is that a key? Is that a necklace? What's going on? Those few minutes are always stressful trying to figure out who got it. Finally, we found out that yes, Cameron had won, not because we saw a key, but because Blue mentioned that she was taking Cameron's bed downstairs since he was moving up to the HOH room. So that's how we basically got the reveal last night and knew that he'd won it. All right, we talk a little bit from Bowie Jane about the comp itself. Apparently, everyone had to build a puzzle. I'm thinking a puzzle similar to what Caitlin Herman had during her season, kind of a smaller version of herself. Sounds like these may have been zombies of themselves, something like that. But each person had to build, it sounds like, a puzzle of their own. And whoever did it the fastest won the competition. So that's what Cameron did to win this thing. All right. Now, just as an aside, I just thought I'd point this out. Cameron won a battle back by rolling a ball along a path to win the battle back. Then just a few hours, he won an HOH after winning the battle back itself. Sound familiar? Yeah, just like I did in season 21. Rolling a ball down the path to save yourself to get back into the house, and then you win an HOH a little bit later. So I can relate. Now, it wasn't my third HOH. I was probably a little more excited even than Cameron was to win that thing. But yeah, a similar situation. A wild night for Cameron is the way I'll put it. All right, Felicia's talking to Nicole soon after the feeds come back. She's telling Nicole, saying, get ready, get your stuff together, because it's going to be just you and me this week. As much as Cameron has told everyone that Felicia's his target, Felicia and probably Nicole also, they're certainly in trouble this week. It certainly does sound like the target is still going to be Felicia. And even worse, because everyone else knows that they're the targets, everyone else is going to continue to distance themselves from these two now that Cameron's in power. So yeah, it may be a little bit of a lonely, stressful, depressing week for Felicia and Nicole, especially Felicia. I think she's got to know. And if she doesn't know now, she's quickly going to find out that she is target a number one, I believe. Of course, it's Cameron. Who knows? Maybe he's got some wild, crazy something planned. At one point, he had talked about, what did he say? That no one goes after the head first. You go after the limbs, and he thought Sari and Izzy and Jared and Felicia were all the limbs. Sari was the head. Is he ready to go after the head, or is he taking out one more limb? We'll find out for certain, but I think it's going to be Felicia. All right. We've got Corey and Cameron and America in the bathroom talking. Cameron is mentioning that he has now competed in 16 competitions so far. He's competed in everything I think that he's eligible to compete in, it seems like. So, yeah, a lot of competitions. Just as a comparison, I competed in 26 my season. There were 2 veto competitions I didn't get picked to compete in, and 1 HOH competition, and I did everything else. But Cameron, yeah, Sari doesn't get picked to compete in anything. Cameron, just between being HOH and being on the block, has competed in just almost everything. So yeah, he's got 16 comps under his belt and a lot more to come as well. He'll do the veto, which will take him to 17. So a lot of competitions. As far as the veto comp itself, Cameron is telling or saying that I think he told Corey this, saying that if he gets house guest choice on the veto, he'll probably pick Jag to play to represent him or to have another person in the game. So that's more indication that he truly is feeling pretty tight with Jag and also Matt in saying that he'll put him up. All right, we've got Felicia and Nicole continuing their conversation. Felicia is saying that Cameron had said that he wouldn't tell her his plan as far as who he's going to put up for noms. He's told everyone else that, which is not a good sign for Felicia because she's the only one he won't tell what he's going to do, apparently. They're talking about him. Apparently, when Felicia had talked to Cameron earlier, he'd said something like, I got you, or something along those lines. They're trying to hash out exactly what he said as he's walking out the door. The main thing is Felicia and Nicole are agreeing that, well, he did not say, I'm not putting you up. He didn't say you're good. He's saying something a lot less than that, which has both of them worried as a result. Nicole is saying that Cameron really should be eliminating someone that could potentially beat him in a later veto competition. That should be his concern. Getting out the comp beast, right? Why would you come after Felicia and myself? You ought to be going after the comp beast instead. It's what she's hinting at. And she actually has a point. Now, Cameron has said he wants to send out Felicia because he doesn't want her on jury. She'll be a bitter jury member. Whoever sends her out will never get her jury vote. He's got a lot of reasons, mainly to do with jury management, why he wants Felicia out the door. And I get all of that. They're not wrong. But at the same time, Nicole does have a point. Is Cameron worried that Felicia is going to be the person who wins the HOH and takes control of the house and goes after Cameron and gets him out the door? Probably not. There could be bigger targets in the house short term. Yeah, he could be going after Matt or Jag or even Corey and try to take out one of those bigger targets. But on the other hand, why? If you feel like you've got a strong alliance, if you feel like you can hold your own on the competitions itself, I kind of get where Cameron's coming from. But I understand Nicole's point as well. All right, we have a food scandal. Yeah, we've got Muffin Gate Part 2. I remember Muffin Gate from last season with Turner and Jasmine. Well, we've got another little food scandal going on. We'll call this one the M&M scandal. Yeah, Blue comes in, asks Nicole if she has a peanut M&Ms. Nicole is saying, well, no, I'm allergic to peanuts, so no. At which point Blue says, well, then America just must be lying if that's the case. I guess America said that Nicole had the M&Ms, and apparently that's not the case, and she really has them or something else. So we got Muffin Gate Part 2 from Big Brother Season 25. Later, we see Matt in the kitchen eating the M&Ms and worried that Nicole is going to find out that he's got the M&Ms. I don't know if they're peanut or not, but sounds like someone's eating some M&Ms and trying to keep it secret from someone else. So yeah, no one upset yet. But sometimes these things tend to fester, and before you know it, so it is upset. So we'll keep track of how that works out. I thought that was pretty funny. Let the M&Ms create the paranoia and concern and everything else in that house. All right, we've got Corey and America and Matt and Bowie Jane talking. Corey's talking about Bowie Jane doing a victory dance in a whole bunch of different rooms after Cameron had won the HOH. She's very happy. Bowie has to feel like she's in a pretty good position right now. She's tight with Cameron. The two of them had talked. He said, you're mine or whatever. Something. But she's got to feel very tight with Cameron. She's part of a team that I think Bowie Jane wanted to be with someone, an alliance of some sort. Well, now she has that as well. So yeah, Bowie Jane's feeling pretty good this evening and should be safe this week. Even though some people were talking, a lot of people last week go, I'll put Bowie Jane up next to Felicia and all that. I don't think Cameron's going to do that. All right, we've got, meanwhile, Suri and Blue talking, checking in with each other, lamenting the fact that Jared's gone and Cameron's won this HOH. Suri is saying that earlier in the morning, Bowie Jane had said that if she got HOH, she was going to put up Cameron. So she's just mentioning that. Maybe Suri is going to try to weaponize that a little bit. Go tell Cameron that, hey, Bowie Jane mentioned your name as a target earlier before you won that thing, just so you know. Maybe she's going to try to do that. If she does, I think that could backfire on her. I think it doesn't sound like she's necessarily the number one target this week. If she starts trying to throw Bowie under the bus or Cameron gets a feeling that she's trying to manipulate him or something, it could backfire on Suri as well. So maybe hold on to the information, not worry too much about it at this point in time. If you feel like you probably, hopefully, are going to be safe anyway. But she does mention that about Bowie Jane. Blue is telling Suri that Corey's been throwing Jag's name out everywhere, trying to place the blame of everything on Jag. But she's saying that Corey's also been throwing her name out, also that she and Jag are kind of in the same boat. She feels like of being enemies to Corey. But Blue's saying the difference is that Jag isn't going to make a big move against Corey because he's so afraid it will backfire and put him in a worse position. So he won't make the move. I will. But Jag, as much as Corey's throwing him under the bus, will not make the move against Corey. All right, we've got America and Blue and Suri talking about Zingbot, what kind of zings they could come up with. I could come up with a whole lot of zings for this cast. Probably some pretty brutal zings as well, but I'll hold on to those for later. But I do also think it's a little early for Zingbot. Typically, you got a few more weeks. It'll get down to 8 people or so, and we're not there yet. But they are thinking ahead, talking about Zingbot. When you're in the house, you have these little milestones. You just don't want to be the first boot. Then you just want to make it to jury. Now they've made it to jury. Now you start thinking about, I want to make it to Zingbot. Have Zingbot talk about me. So you have these little milestones that make you feel better and better about your game. Well, Zingbot is now one of the ones that they're starting to talk about. All right, Cameron got his HOH room and his HOH basket. He got his letter from his mom, a nice letter, just talking about how much they miss her, and his daughter had a bowling birthday party, typical just stuff. But nice little letter from his mom. Cameron told the house guests to take anything they wanted other than the letters and the pictures, take anything else they wanted. So he's always been very open with the food and drinks and all of that. Here's something else he also did nice. There's we get to pick music to listen to, as y'all probably know, if you're HOH. Well, apparently Cameron, because he's already had 2 shots with the music, this time he picked someone Triple Red. I don't know who that is. Y'all tell me in the comments, but Triple Red, I think he picked because apparently that was Matt's favorite, or that's who Matt maybe had wanted. So Cameron apparently picked Triple Red so Matt can listen to the music, and it's a nice thing to do. It's also strategically a great thing to do, just to make people feel that much closer to you and tighter with you as well. So Cameron definitely playing the game. But I think he did just to be nice as well. All right, we've got Jag and Matt and Cameron alone in the HOH room. Matt talking about how happy he is that Cameron won this HOH. And he's saying, look, we know you can't play HOH next week, Cameron, but Jag and I, we can play it, and we certainly will be playing. So they're going to be watching out for each other. They had talked before about that between the 3 of them, they should just be able to go back and forth with HOH and keep the HOH between the 3 of them from now until the very end, and make it to the end as a result. They are feeling very good about how they did. They did well in this competition. Cameron's talking about how he felt bad winning because Matt was so close to winning as well. Apparently Matt came in second place, just behind Cameron, and right behind Matt was Jag. So yeah, Cameron, Matt, and Jag, top 3 on this. Here they are in the room. They're aligned with each other, feeling pretty good. Now, I bet Matt, as much as he would have liked to have won an HOH, I'm sure he wants to win one. At the same time, I have a feeling he may be perfectly fine with Cameron winning this HOH. Cameron being the one that's going to get a little bit more blood on his hands. Matt gets to continue to be kind of the friend to everyone in the house, and not necessarily have to draw a whole lot of hard lines in terms of loyalty or anything else. I think Matt's probably okay with Cameron. And now Matt can play an HOH next week as well. So I think he's okay with it. But yeah, Cameron's saying, yeah, I feel bad, Matt. I couldn't throw it to you, but I do feel bad knowing how close you were. All right, we've got Jag talking about Suri and Blue, how sad they look. They were watching the battle back competition in the living room, I think. And so Jack's saying that, yeah, Suri and Blue were both very sad when you won the battle back. He says, but Bowie, Jane, and Corey in America, they're all pretty excited when you won that thing, Cameron. So just so you know that. All right, the house guests are singing happy birthday to Corey. Happy birthday, Corey. As he said later, hey, I'm no longer the minimum age to play in the game of Big Brother. Yeah, he's 22 now. So congratulations, Corey. Yeah, that mustache will come in one of these days. All right, but yeah, happy birthday to Corey. Shout out to Corey. Suri was pretty funny. She was in the comic room laying down when she hears everyone yelling or singing happy birthday. And so she kind of rolls her eyes like, oh, God. and gets up, doesn't want to get up, rolls her eyes, gets up, and she opens the door. She's like, "Happy birthday!" Starts singing along. You got to play the game, even when you're not necessarily feeling like it. So yeah, happy birthday to Corey, and everyone's celebrating his new birthday. I think Matt made him some quesadillas, in fact. So yeah, a weird birthday, but I'm sure you'll enjoy every bit of it. Corey later said, I just don't want to be nominated for my birthday. That's a pretty cool present. All right, we've got Jag and Matt and Cameron continuing their talk up in the HOH room. Matt's saying a lot of people are going to be pitching to Cameron that maybe Jag and Matt should go on the block this week, just kind of like Nicole was talking about to Felicia. He's saying they're going to be telling you that, Cameron. And Cameron's saying, yeah, but most people know what my plans are already. So hopefully they don't try that too hard, because I've already got my plans in place. Cameron is saying that going forward, the three of us need to not necessarily act like we're as close to each other as we are. We need to distance ourselves from each other a little bit. As you start seeing a reduction in the people in the house, yeah, you start noticing the people hang out together all the time. So he's saying we just need to not make it so obvious going forward, which is a good point. All right, Cameron is saying that Felicia wanted to talk to him tonight. But he kind of put her off. He said, I gave her a pass for night. He says he's going to start his conversations tomorrow instead. He just doesn't really want to talk to anyone strategy-wise this evening, even though Felicia wanted to. He said, though, that Felicia knows that she's going on the block. She's got to know she's going on the block, but he'll talk to her tomorrow about stuff instead. The talk turns to the veto competition coming up. Cameron's saying, veto competitions can be hard. I don't know if he means about the game itself or about using vetoes, things like that. But he's saying that the veto comps can be hard, but this week should be pretty easy for us. In other words, it's a pretty clear path, as though you ever have that in Big Brother. But he's saying this should be a pretty clear path, a pretty clear, easy week for the three of us. Now, talking about the veto competition, as I said, I don't really think it's quite time for OTEV yet. But you know what it could be time for? OTEV. Yeah, we're at that point. I could easily see an OTEV competition right now. It'd be kind of cool to have an OTEV competition where people are absolutely fighting to get on jury by winning the OTEV comp. It may not happen this week, but it's a possibility. They've got the numbers that are about right for it. So this week, next, we'll find out. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'm just glad we got a veto competition on Saturday. All right. We've got Cameron saying that Corey wants Cameron gone. Cameron is saying that because Corey wants Cameron gone, that Corey must therefore think that Cameron wants him gone. And he's saying, it's kind of like Izzy was the same way. And, maybe somewhere down the road, but I'm not necessarily targeting Corey right now, but Corey thinks that I am. So yeah, Corey is a little bit worried, wishful thing, hoping that it's not him, but it's a little bit nervous it could be him. But Cameron's saying, no, just because he wants me gone doesn't mean I want him gone right now. Cameron also is saying, he said at one point that Cirie no longer has any secrets, is fine. I'm not sure exactly what he meant by that, because he also said that Cirie had a lot of final twos in the house. She had final twos with just about everyone. I'm not sure she had final twos, but she is on good terms with most people in the house. Maybe not so much Felicia, but most other people. But Cameron is indicating again that maybe Cirie isn't this week's target. All right, we've got Matt thinking that Blue will take a shot at Corey if she has a chance. Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good prediction, Matt. But the problem is, Matt says, I know she'll go after Blue. I know she'll go after Corey, but he's also worried that Blue would take a shot at Matt and Jag and Cameron if she had a chance. And he's a little bit worried that Blue is so close to Cirie, who is not part of their group. So he does have some concerns about Blue. Jag is mentioning, says, look, if we take out Corey for Blue, if we went after Corey right now, Blue would be perfectly happy. That'd be great for her and all that. But then once Corey's gone, we probably become Blue's targets after that Blue would potentially come after us. I'm a little surprised to hear that. I thought Jag and Blue were a little tighter than that, but Jag is suggesting that maybe that's not the case. Worried that Blue would come after them as strong players and opposed to Cirie to some degree. So they are mentioning that. In fact, Jag is actually suggesting that, Blue is kind of our sort of fourth person in this group. After us three, then she's the next layer. She's number 4. And he's saying, what if Bowie Jane was number 4 instead of Blue? That Blue gets demoted Bowie Jane gets promoted up to spot number 4. Cameron responds saying, Bowie's my boy, and really seems okay with Bowie being the 4th. In fact, he says basically, yep, that's, I don't know if he said it's official, but he says something like, yeah, all right, Bowie's our 4th. That works for me. So, yeah, sounds like Bowie's getting a little tighter with this group of guys right now. Matt's saying that because of this concern about Bowie, and as long as Corey's in the house, he's her big target. He's saying, because of all this, well, we probably should wait a while before we take out Corey. Not saying never, but for right now, we probably need to just leave Corey alone, let him absorb some of the heat instead. Cameron seems to agree and is also saying, look, y'all stay on Blue, y'all stay tight with her, make sure she feels comfortable and all that. All right, so we've got that. All right, once Cameron is alone, the others have left the room. He looks up to the camera and says, Daddy's home. It'll be an interesting week to see which Cameron we get this week. All right, we've got Blue in bed in the scary room talking alone to the cameras. She's crying a bit, a few times crying a little bit more than just a bit, but crying, saying that she just can't with Corey and Cameron. She's taken being put on the block by Corey very personal, saying, Corey and Cameron, I just can't. So she's wishing that Cameron would go after Corey instead of Felicia, but she also sees that he's very zoomed in on Felicia, just doesn't know that's going to be the case, but she'd love to have him going after Corey. She's talking about that she wishes she had more time for a goodbye conversation with Jared. I think they were spending a little more time with goodbye other activities other than the conversations, but now she's wishing she talked to Jared just a little bit more before he went out. So she's basically talking to him through the cameras. She's telling him that she'll miss having him in the house. She'll miss waking up next to him, miss strategizing with him. She'll protect the people that she promised him that she would protect, which I assume that's probably Suri she's talking about. So she's talking about all that. She does mention that Jared has 42 days to move to Los Angeles before she gets out of the house. So she's thinking ahead a little bit. 42 days, Jared. The clock is a ticking. My question is, Jared going to take his girlfriend Kinsey with him when he moves out to LA? We'll find out. She's telling Jared to go ahead while he's out there to check on his on her mom and sister as well. Apparently they talked about some of that. So yeah, she's just kind of passing on some information to Jared. She also passes on some information to Izzy, saying, hey, Izzy, go to bed, but tag Jared on all this as well. She knows Izzy's watching 24 hours a day, and I'm sure she is. All right, we've got she's through with her camera soliloquy. She's actually now talking to Jag and Bowie a little bit. Blue is now thinking that Cameron, because of his victories, his big moves and all that, she's saying Cameron has to be America's favorite at this point in time. Cameron certainly has a lot more fans than he did, say, I don't know, a month ago. Not sure America's favorite's quite the label just yet, but he certainly is keeping the house a little bit more exciting so far. Now, you keep winning HOHs and competitions over and over again. You want to see the power flips as well. But yeah, she thinks he's America's favorite at this point in time. All right, we've got Corey and America in bed talking. Corey's talking about saying, tell me that Blue would have put me up if she had a chance. Yeah, she would have put you up, Corey. I have no doubt. But he's still recognizing that he is her number one target. He's figuring that somewhere down the road, someone is going to make a move against him. Hopefully not this week. He says when they do make a move, it's probably going to be both of us on the block together. He's recognizing as a showmance, they represent a huge potential target. There'll probably be two of them together to break them up. He's saying that, the game is about making big moves. I need to make a big move, but I'm not sure I'm just there yet. He says we're final 10, which is fantastic, but that means there's still a lot of HOHs and comps and everything else to be played. Just not quite ready to make that big move just yet. And with that, they start a little bit of a makeout session, moving on from the game talk a little bit. And we will move on as well. So we've got Matt and Jag and Bowie and Blue talking some more. Blue is saying that Corey is saying that Corey had said something about this competition was the 4th time that Blue had just almost won the thing. That she's coming so close to winning these things every single time. And she doesn't like that he keeps mentioning her name. Jag, I think, is the one who says, Corey's trying to make you a target. He's trying to make everyone a target that isn't Corey and isn't America. And that's just what Corey does. So, yeah, that's why he's saying that, Blue. Blue is saying that America was upset that she didn't win because she wants to prove that she's a competitor. And at that point, Blue started laughing in front of her that America would think that she could prove that she's a competitor. This is a conversation. It was actually Blue and Suri were talking in the comic room, and then America came in and said, "Oh, yeah, I wish I'd won just so I could prove what a competitor I am." And Blue didn't really take that too seriously when she said that. All right, we've got America and Nicole talking to each other. America is saying that she thinks that Cameron is getting closer to the guys, which certainly worries her a little bit. Nicole is saying that Cameron is hard to read and they don't really talk game that much. She says he seems like a nice guy, just don't ever talk game with him, which is not a good sign when he's the one that's got the HOH power this week. America is saying that she just doesn't know who's Cameron's target is this week. Kind of a mystery. Cameron's a wild card. He's kind of cryptic sometimes. I don't know who he's targeting this week. Well, we know. And I think America knows. Surely she knows. But listening to Corey and some of his suspicions, she may have some worries of her own. But yeah, she's telling Nicole that they don't know who Cameron's target's going to be this week just yet. Nicole is saying that she's going to talk to Cameron today now, saying she's going to talk to Cameron. She's going to tell him that she won't put him up if he won't put her up. That's really all she has to offer at this point in time. And I get it, but telling Cameron that you won't put him up when you haven't won anything so far, I think she needs to work on her pitch just a little bit before she talks to Cameron. Figure out why she can put the target on someone else other than herself. It's what she needs to do rather than making promises that he's probably not going to be so worried about. All right, we've got Corey talking to Matt. He's going to tell Cameron that he doesn't want to be nominated for his birthday, which is a good point. Go for it, Corey. But, you also sure wouldn't want to be nominated next week during your birthday week, right? And really, your whole birthday month, you should not get nominated. We're following the Jasmine rules here. But yeah, Corey's saying he's going to tell Matt, please don't put me, or telling Cameron that he's going to say, please don't put me up on my actual birthday. Nominate me. I don't think he is, but yeah, he ought to thank Cameron for one of the best birthday gifts that a 22-year-old could possibly ever get in the Big Brother house. So he said he's telling that to Matt. And Matt's saying, yeah, you know who the target is this week. I think you're good, Corey. All right, we've got Blue and Matt in the bathroom. Blue is saying that her target list in order is Cameron and Corey and America and Nicole and then Bowie. That's the assumption that Felicia goes home this week. After Felicia, then she would go after Cameron, Corey. I'm surprised it's not Corey Cameron. Cameron, Corey, America, Nicole, and then Bowie, which would leave her and Matt and Jag and Suri as the final four. It's so nice when someone lays out the whole boot order and gives you that kind of information. Don't ever do that. If you're in the Big Brother house, no matter how much you trust other people, you don't need to spell out your whole boot order unless you absolutely 100% trust them. And even then, I don't think you need to. But she's laid out the whole boot order for Matt, so she better trust him. Now, at one point, I think Matt talks about if he won the veto, she still wants Corey gone. So Matt's saying, if I won veto, I could pull Nicole down so that Corey could go up, but I'd need to talk about it with Cameron first. So he's kind of telling her some things, but his heart's not into it. I don't think that's Matt's game plan going forward, but certainly they talked about staying close to Blue, and he's doing his part. But there you have it, guys. Finally, the feeds shut down. Not feeds. Everyone's in bed by, 4 o'clock or so, Big Brother time, which is 6 o'clock or so, Houston time. So, yeah, it made for a very long evening. But there you have it. Cameron's the HOH. In summary, Cameron's the HOH. Seems like Felicia certainly is the target. Whoever goes up next to her, probably a pawn. Very well could be Nicole. Seems like Matt and Jag and Cameron are only getting tighter with each other. Bowie's value is moving up in the game. She's moved up to number 4. Blue, is expected, having lost Jared, already is feeling a little lost. Her and Suri are on a bit of an island together. Felicia and Nicole on a bit of an island together. And then it seems like you got everyone else. We'll see how it all works out. Nominations are today. Again, I expect it to be Felicia, but with Cameron as an HOH, Who knows? Hey, he could have some big surprise waiting for us. I don't think so. We'll find out. And I'll be back tomorrow to give you all the update, let you know who's on the block. We'll talk about Veto at that point in time and everything else that happens this evening. Guys, you have a grand, fantastic Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Have a great one. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Until then, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.